Meanwhile, in stately Wayne Manor...
Hey, how's it going? It's Saturday. You know what that means. Another episode of Build the Classic 1966 Batmobile is coming your way right now. Welcome back, old chum, as Batman would say. This is Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff, and I'm super excited to have you here for another Build the Batmobile episode. So today, we're rolling right along. We're adding more parts to the Batmobile engine in the Partwork build, and we are, I think, finalizing the chassis of the Lego build. And then we should start getting into some more details in the next episode. But without further delay, let's get into the build, and then we'll have a chat after.
And in the Batcave, deep below stately Wayne Manor...
Here is issue 7. Again, we have season 1, episode 7. And then we get into the magazine here. That's cool, a little bat sled. Alright, so here are the parts. In this issue, we start working on the right side of the engine, including the assembly of the distributor. So here are the parts, and then here are our instructions. So let's get the parts over here and see what we've got. Here's the part pack for issue 7. Oh, looks like we've got some more pieces on sprues. So this is a little different from the DeLorean build, in which, so far anyway, we have not had any plastic pieces on sprues like we do in this build so far. And that always reminds me of like traditional scale models that you get in the box at the hobby shop. Everything was on a sprue and you had to take them all off and everything. So maybe a little bit of nostalgia. So here are the parts here. Let me get these screws open before we take a look at the parts. So I'm going to leave, because there's all these small parts, I'm going to leave them in the tray until we need them. So first thing we're doing is we are taking the right engine bracket, which is this piece. And then we are taking the right engine connector, which is this piece. Okay, and we're taking the bracket like so, and we have the connector here. All right, there is a locating lug, so it can only go on one way. And that's going to be connected with an AM screw, so let me get that going. So this is going to be a little tricky to hold on to. Okay, perfect. So it's kind of funny. It seems like every time I say it's going to be a little bit tricky, it goes super smooth. And every time I think that, oh, this should be super easy, it's a struggle bus. So don't even pay attention to anything I say regarding the ease or difficulty of things. All right, now we want to take the engine block here. And this is going to go right in here like so. So it does fit in. There are some little studs here, these little brackets that will sort of hold this plastic piece like so. And that's going to be screwed in from the other side with an AM screw. So I'm just going to get this started, and then I'm going to make sure that it is lined up properly. And now we will go ahead and tighten that down. Perfect. So that is in. So we're going to set that to the side. Now we want to take our distributor. Let's see, take the distributor cap center and push it into the top of the distributor. So that's going to go right in there. No glue. It pushes in and you'll hear a little click. So that goes right there. Now we want to take the distributor plugs, remove them from their sprues, and push 9 of them into the recesses on the top of the distributor assembly. And I'm going to be very careful as far as I'm going to just kind of hold on to them as I cut them, otherwise they will go flying. So it looks like we do have, it says specifically push 9 of them onto the assembly. So it looks like they give us an extra one, because that is 9, and there's still 1 left on the sprue. So I am going to leave it on the sprue, and let's see how easily these go on. Okay, so that is why they give you an extra, because they will just go pinging off everywhere if you try to get too fiddly with them. Yeah, probably easier to do this by hand, because with the tweezers you run the risk of them just coming off. Okay, yes, we got it. So if you're very, very careful and you just don't grab it, I know that you're never going to be able to see this, but don't grab it by the round part here, because it will literally just ping off. So grab it by the little stem and get your fingers on there as tight as you can get them. And then once you have that on there, then it's really easy to just press it right in place like so. That one was almost a danger. Okay, so let us hope that this 10th one was indeed an actual extra one, and they're gonna surprise us and be like, oh, now we need this other one somewhere else. Because yeah, I'm never finding that one that pinged off. All right, so there is that. Okay. So now we want to take the vacuum advance unit, which is this. So here we go, push the vacuum advance unit onto the side of the distributor. Okay, so there is a little hole here. And it is, there's a keyhole pattern, so it can only go on one way. And that is just a press to fit, no glue. Alright, so now we want to take the distributor shaft, which is this piece, and we want to take the engine block, and that is going to go. And again, this is also a keyhole pattern, so this is going to go this way. Alright, there, I think we got it. And then now we just want to push, and again, this also has a little pattern, so it can only go on one way. So we just want to push that on there, and that sticks. And that is it for issue 7. So here is issue 8. Set that over so we can take a look at this. Alright, so again, Season 1, Episode 8. Here we go. Alright, so in this one we are going to put together the oil pan as well as the generator for the engine. So there's a lot of little fiddly pieces here, it looks like. So here's our parts list, here are the instructions. Looks like we have another hose, so hopefully they gave us the correct parts. So here is the part pack for issue 8. So we need the oil pan and the oil pan bottom. So that is this piece and this piece. Alright, it's just FYI, it's a little frustrating because the part list is on one page and the picture of the parts is on another page. Usually they're on the same page. So we're putting these together like so. And that is going in with 2 AP screws. Alright, I know we're 4 episodes in, but I don't think I've mentioned it. But if you're following along with the DeLorean build, you'll be familiar. When the screws end in P, like we secured these with AP screws, it means you're screwing into plastic. So in that case, you do not want to over tighten these screws because you run the risk of cracking the plastic parts. And if the screws end in M, like, well, it looks like in this issue we just have plastic screws, but if we have AM screws, that means they are going into metal. So those we usually like to dip into a little bit of 3-in-1 oil to get them kind of started to help lubricate them. But those, even though those screw into metal, you might be screwing a plastic part into metal. So again, you don't want to over tighten the screws. Okay, so the next piece, we are taking the oil pan hose bracket and the oil pan hose. So yes, this, my goodness, is a teeny tiny little piece. So this is the oil pan hose bracket, teeny tiny. And of course the oil pan hose is right here. So we are taking this and we are just going to put that on the little, just like so. And then this presses onto, there is a little tab right here, and that is just going to press on, and hopefully it will. Alright, so that pressed on really firm and it's not coming off, so I'm not going to glue it for now. So now we want to take the oil pan top, which is this piece. We want to turn it over and line it up just like so. And that's also going in with AP screws. Okay, so that is secure. All right, now we want to take the generator pulley inner, which is this piece, and we want to slot that onto the front of the generator cover, which is this piece. All right, so there is, on this pulley piece, there is like a flange on one side and it's sort of indented on the other. We want this to go on so the flange side is facing up, like so. Then we want to take the, let's see, we want the pulley center, and then we want the pulley outer. Okay, so there are bigger flanges, which I know you're not going to be able to see, but this piece here has a bigger flange than this piece. So we want the one with the bigger flange, with the sort of flange facing down, to go like so. And then same thing here, flange facing down, like so. And then we want to secure those together with a TP screw. All right, so that is together. Next, we want to take the generator, which is this piece here, and we want to attach it to this piece with a TP screw. Okay, so I find this interesting that this is not like this is not notched in any way, yet they kind of show it with a, well, there's still a little play in it, so we can turn it if we need to. And then we will cap it off with the generator rear cover. So that should just push on here like so. Okay, no need to glue. Okay, so now we're going to bring back the part that we made in the last episode. And this is going to fit right there. And we are attaching that with another TP screw. All right, so there we have it. And then we have this bracket piece here that we are not doing anything with this piece. So this piece we are just going to keep in a safe place for next time. And that is it for issue 8. So let's move on to the Lego section. All right, here we are at the Lego portion. If you remember last episode, this may look a little bit different than we left it last episode because I did not complete step 18. It was a multi-part step and I missed the last half of it. So this was the rest of, we had attached the gray pieces to this black large plate, and the only thing that you missed was attaching these 2 yellow pieces and this black plate across the middle here, and then putting this here. So in this episode, we're going to do steps 19 through 24. So let's get on with it. Okay, so that is it for the Lego portion. So as you saw, we built up this front piece, attached some supports here, and again, not sure at this point. We built the exact same sort of axle setup as we did for this side, but we don't yet know which is the front end and which is the back end. So hopefully that will become clearer as we progress here. So this is what we have for the Lego, and then for the part work, we worked on this engine half, the oil pan, and then we have this little bracket left over. So that is what we did in this episode. So for the Lego build, things are starting to look pretty good. It looks like we finished up that chassis, so we've got our foundation, and now we can start adding some of those really cool details. And then, of course, in the Partwork build, we are continuing working on the engine parts, and I believe that will continue for a couple more episodes, and we also will start getting into the chassis portion of the Batmobile, the Partwork build here pretty soon. So let's quickly just do a quick summary of where we're at with steps and pieces. So for the Partwork build, in this episode, we completed 17 steps and used 28 parts. And for the Lego portion, we completed 15 steps and used 27 parts. So pretty even across the Partwork and the Lego this episode. And then the total to date, 54 steps for the Partwork and 82 parts. And then for Lego, 55 steps and 141 parts. So this kind of matches up with how the DeLorean started. In the beginning, we were very close on steps, and then the Lego portion was using more parts than the Partwork version. So it'll be interesting to see if that trend continues. In the DeLorean version, that started to diverge, and we were getting further and further apart in steps and pieces. So we will just have to wait and see how that plays out. But again, please remember to like, subscribe, comment. If you have any comments or questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them. And I, again, super appreciate you joining me on this journey. So far, it's been a lot of fun. So until we see each other again, same bat time, Superhero Saturdays, same bat channel, Brickscale Studio. Happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.